Good afternoon from this old greenhouse here in East Tennessee. I'm Casey, and I'm in my kitchen currently and thought I would share a lovely pumpkin bread recipe. It is October 2nd. Fall is in the air and I am ready to eat some pumpkin bread. So the first half of this video will be showing how to do that, and then I'll continue on my vlog for those who want to watch it. I have a really great recipe for chocolate chip pumpkin bread. I'm going to put that in the description. If you guys want to follow along here in my kitchen, let's make this. The first ingredient is 3 cups of sugar. And this makes 2 loaves, by the way. We're going to need a tablespoon of cinnamon. I couldn't fit my tablespoon in there, so 3 teaspoons equals a tablespoon. 1, 2, 3. And this is what I'm going to use today. I got it from Aldi's. I just used the whole can. I think it says 15 ounces, and that's what's in here. I love to smell pumpkin puree. It just reminds me of fall and just every year around this time. Wait a minute, here it is. 1 cup of vegetable oil. Next, very important ingredient, chocolate chips. And it calls for a cup, but Seth, my youngest son, always through the years, he'd always tell me, put a little bit more in there, Mama. So I always found that measuring with your heart instead of a recipe is the best thing to do with chocolate chips. So always add a little bit more. Can't go wrong there if you like chocolate. Now next is 2/3 cup of water, a couple chocolate chips that fell in it. This recipe also calls for a 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts. They're optional. I don't put it in mine because Seth is allergic to nuts, but I'm sure they would probably be pretty good in this. And then last but not least, 3.5 cups of self-rising flour. And 4 eggs. Y'all, it smells so good. This makes quite a lot. There may be too much for even just these 2 pans. So if there is extra, I've put mine in some muffin pans and had some chocolate chip pumpkin muffins, which are delightful. You only want to fill these 1/2 to 3/4 of the way full just because they might rise too high. Look how delicious that looks. And you don't have to do this, but I'm gonna add some chocolate chips to the top of this too. Oh, this makes it yummy. And the muffins might not take as long. I'm gonna watch them. I'm gonna cook them second because I don't think they'll have to be in there for a full hour. But hope you guys enjoyed this part of the video. And tag along for the vlog to follow. Good afternoon. It is Friday, finally Friday, and the weather is kind of trying to clear out. We've had some clouds today, but I think in the 10-day forecast it looks like we're gonna have a lot of sun, so that's good. We may be dipping down in some cooler temperatures in the trending next couple weeks, maybe at night too, I heard. I am up here at my greenhouse, and yesterday I was out here working on this new flower bed that I'm wanting to put out here beside the greenhouse, and I'll show you guys what I've done. There's also a new tree. I wish I had taken my camera yesterday when me and my husband went to get it, and I'll tell you about that in a second. This is my new bed that I'm putting in. And I've taken my shovel and done the edge around it, and I really like the way that it looks. I think it's like cottagey, like my husband says. It's gonna be a nice little cottage garden area. And I'm gonna go ahead and try to get all this grass and weeds dug out of here. I'm not gonna try to do it all at once because, you know, I'm not trying to be a hero or anything, but I just kind of take my time. And right now it is super warm because the sun's out and it is in the 80s today. We get full sun right here all the time. So lots of flowers and things that like full sun grow perfect back here. But I'm gonna end up taking all this grass out of here. We're gonna mulch it, and then I'm gonna plant stuff in it. And probably a lot of this stuff I'll end up putting in the springtime, but I'm just gonna get this bed prepared. And I have a little pot here. I'm not sure if that's gonna stay, but that's where it's at for now. I would like to have a little tree in it or something because I'm going to put a bird feeder here near one of my windows that I can, you know, film birds and watch birds inside the greenhouse, especially this winter when it's lovely inside the greenhouse. Check out my new tree. Y'all, this tree came from my church. It's a little cedar tree. And the thing about it is we have a dogwood tree right near the entrance to our fellowship hall, and this, I guess a bird brought in a seed or something, and it started growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I kept telling my husband, oh, I'd like to take this home and put it in a pot because I don't want to plant it here because I don't want it to get enormous. But so he's like, well, it's been growing there for a while, it might be kind of hard to remove. And I was like, no, we can do it. So last night we took off in the golf cart and went down to the church, took 2 shovels and a mattock. Well, I should have took my camera too. It was a little bit harder to get out than we had expected, or I had expected. And what I mean by that is one of the shovel heads broke off, and my husband ended up throwing it halfway across the church parking lot. And so shovel number 2, we started digging some more. We had to cut some roots. It was a process, but we ended up getting it out, and we put it in the back of the golf cart and drove home with it. Looked like a crazy person, but anyways, it's here, and I think it's so neat looking. It looks like a little Christmas tree. It smells like one. And so I'll probably even maybe decorate it a little bit during Christmas time. So I've got to put a little bit more soil in here, and we've kind of staked it up so it would kind of grow straight, but I think it's going to look really neat right here in this corner with this bird feeder. And this is another corner that we're going to fill in with stuff as well and plant things. I got some soil today. I've got to get that out of the car, but my neighbor's mowing and stuff is flying everywhere, so I'm going to wait till he's done before I go retrieve that. I also got like another bird feeding hook I'm going to put in one of these pots, and so far that's what I've done. I know I'm going to need more mulch to fill this in, so we'll probably have to go get some more mulch. But in the meantime, while there's all that going on up there and I can't get the soil, I'm going to go down and check the chickens, because still no eggs, but I haven't checked today, so let's go look. Hey chickens! And my little rooster, I think we're just going to call him Mr. T. He thinks he's much bigger than what he really is. All right, I'm going to check the coop first, because maybe they laid in there. That would make the most sense, but probably didn't happen. I have an egg! Y'all, it's a miracle. Miracle. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I'm very happy about that. Y'all, I'm really happy. I'm really happy. I've got to get a nesting box to put in here. I really want to get one of those roll-away boxes, because those are just, if the chickens will use them, they're great, because it keeps the eggs really clean and they can't mess with them once they lay in the box. It just rolls to the front. So I do need to invest in one of those. I had one years ago. I ended up getting rid of it or something. I don't know. I had it for silkies, and they would just sit in it and go broody all the time. So that was very annoying. All right, let's squeeze in here. All right, chickens, anybody else? Come on, speak up. Well, nobody else, but I don't know. I'll let y'all off the hook today since I got 1 egg. Very excited about my 1 egg. All right, guys. I think before too long, I'm going to add the rest of this fence in, just because I think they're really doing a good job of working this garden area and fertilizing it, because we're going to have a nice garden next year, and I plan on growing a lot of good things. Well, that was lovely. I saw that. Hey chickens! Hey chickens! His crow is hilarious. He just has to use his whole body, all his force to get that out. He does a pretty good job for how little he is, though. Look at the clouds. They're really pretty today. And sorry y'all, I got a big mess going on here because I'm fixing to move some pots with my dolly. I've got stuff in the front that I need to get some really heavy plants back into the greenhouse before the cold comes, because that is coming soon and I want to get my palm trees back in here. But yesterday when I was digging, I stuck my hand out into the soil, and I have some really old gloves that aren't really good. And when I did, I noticed something hurt kind of bad on my hand. And I pulled it up and I had 2 marks. And I'm pretty sure I got bit by a spider yesterday. My hand stung like for an hour and a half. I put ice on it for several hours, and the swelling ended up going down. And I feel fine now. I felt fine afterwards pretty much. So I don't know what bit me, but I've got some better gloves today. Hopefully they'll keep the spiders from biting me. But yeah, I was pretty creeped out. So I don't know, I got me these gloves right here. I also got me another cutting tool. I love these scissors right here, and they sharpen with this little case. And I had some several years back, and I ended up leaving them outside accidentally, and they rusted, and they were just completely worn out, but I love those. So hopefully I can get some things tidied up in here. I'm eventually gonna have to cut my daylilies back. I probably will before the frost comes, because when they do, they get like slushy and icky, and they're pretty easy to cut back. You can just basically cut them back to the ground, or you can pull them out. Either way is fine. Once they start turning brown, they're really easy to pull out of the soil and break them off. All right, so I've put potting soil in here, but I'm going to put a little bit of compost from my pile down behind the chicken coop. Everything loves the chicken compost. Very valuable stuff. You know, I got a little bit of waters today at the grocery store. Our stores around here, being in East Tennessee, are getting kind of scarce on some of those items because people are trying to get them to the hurricane victims. So that is a big thing right now that we're trying to do. So I try not to take as many. I just take what I need. But around here, there's been people taking a lot of stuff. Like, I went to the grocery store today and there was no toilet paper, none at all, which is insane. I feel like, you know, when people go to the grocery store, it's like they go crazy. They hear of a shortage, and then one person goes and buys like 10 packs of toilet paper. I mean, that's just not a good idea either. You know, I'm totally into like prepping and things like that, but I think we should do it in moderation, not try to do it all at once. Like, you know, maybe go to the grocery store once a week and grab some waters, grab some extra cans if you don't can, just items that you think you would need in an event of a disaster like this that's occurred. And now's the time to start stocking up if you haven't already. There's some things that I want to prepare more. Just keep extra things on hand. And some of the most important things like that are water, canned items, canned meat, tuna, things like that wouldn't go bad in a power outage. Make sure you have extra, you know, gas, propane, things to start a fire, just things like that. You know, I'm not a crazy, insane prepper person, but I do prepare. There is, you know, I think it can be done in moderation. And I think that it should be, because people need skill sets and different things like that. You never know when you might need them. I think at some point we could all, you know, need them. So that's what I try to do here. I try to learn things in moderation, and obviously put Jesus Christ first, because he is in the midst of us. He is here in the midst of everything. He's going to provide a way. You just have to listen to him for preparing, you know, preparing our hearts, preparing our minds, and preparing physically. So, yeah, I just thought I'd leave you guys with that. I'm going in for a little while because I am dripping sweat. It is hot. And I will be filming more of this stuff going on probably this weekend. I've got some family stuff we're doing tonight. I'm going to take a break today and do family stuff. And then I'll probably be back on here tomorrow with whatever we get into out here or around this hill. And I hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed day. God bless.